Kevin Cassius for iFILM London. We're at JFK Airport here in New York. Sorry, we have to whisper a little bit if we get thrown out. Just about to board home, back from, well, like I said, New York. Eddie, last night, ultimately, were you a little bit surprised how much heart Gavin showed, or not really?
No, I knew that he was always going to show plenty of heart. I was surprised how good ADRIEN BRONER was. You know, people talk about how good he was. You hope that he's not as good as some people hype him out to be, but unfortunately he is. Gavin gave it everything. He started brightly. He did a few things that he wasn't supposed to do, but when he did those things he got success. So it's difficult when you're in there with someone like him. He's a huge lightweight as well, you know, by far the bigger man. But Gavin come out there, you know, as I knew he would if he lost the fight. I knew what kind of performance he put in. Already we've had HBO, you know, the American fans, oh, we love Gavin Rees, we'd love to have him back, you know, so it opens plenty of doors. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So Gavin's in a great position now, and obviously he's disappointed, but I'm trying to keep his spirits high and make him realise that actually he's in a much better place now than he was before the fight.
A bit of a strange atmosphere in the Boardwalk Hall last night. It was like, I know there wasn't, you know, masses of army that come out to support Gavin, you know, it was more or less the people from Matchroom, his close family and friends, but it was just an overall quite kind of a strange atmosphere in that place, which it can be a bit soulless sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the venue. I mean, when we had Froch Ward there and Barker Martinez, it's such a huge arena that I think unless it's packed, you know, with people, then it's really, like you say, it's a little bit soulless. But I do think, you know, and I said on Twitter today, the American audience and live audience and fans, if you like, are a lot less passionate than the UK fans. I don't know what you think about that, Coop, but you know, I don't know whether it's just because it's such a huge country. You don't get 500-600 people travelling from Manchester to London, you know, to come to support their mate. Like, how many people were there last night from Cincinnati? And you're talking about someone who people are talking about a new pound for pound, you know, or pay-per-view star in America, and there was probably less than 2,000 tickets sold there last night. You know, it's difficult, and it shows you maybe that the sport in America isn't doing what it's doing in the UK, which in my opinion is booming. It's just weird, you know, like I sat there and I didn't, especially for the Beaker fight, I'm thinking this is chief support and you can hear a pin drop. And even when Rees Broner was on, you could hear a pin drop. I just think, like in the arena last night, it was a lot of just casino goers and general holiday makers rather than ADRIEN BRONER fans, you know?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you, because considering the weekend before that we were in Belfast, where there was 7,000-8,000 then, it was absolutely
exactly. That's
rocking.
what I'm comparing it to. I mean, it's chalk and cheese.
Yeah, and you know, they would seem to be like, it's that American mentality of, even when you go and see a film over here, they react to the punches thrown as if they're watching a film or something. I mean, I'm not saying everyone's like that, but that's the sort of atmosphere you get.
And I'll be honest, I tweeted it today, and I was sitting there last night thinking about how lucky we are that we've got the kind of fans that we've got. I mean, this Saturday we've got prize fight. It'll be absolutely jam-packed. The atmosphere there will be 30 times better than 3,000 people in the Boardwalk Hall, and you wouldn't really think that was the case from a prize fighter to a pound-for-pound star, you know. But like you said, Belfast's a great example. You compare Belfast to the Boardwalk Hall, and it's miles away. You know, it's just incomparable, and we're very lucky that we've got such passionate fans in the sport.
Do you think that in a kind of way that the American public last night who were there and also watching on TV, they'd appreciate, you know, Gavin Rees taking it to, you know, at certain stages taking it to ADRIEN BRONER and maybe exposing some sort of a weakness that some people already knew? You know, they're comparing him to Floyd Mayweather, but he seemed a bit as if, you know, I know it's easy for me to say, I'm not a boxer, but it seemed that Gavin, you know, on occasion was getting through at some point.
But to be honest with you, he's so tenacious and his work rate's so good, his hands are very fast. People are saying, oh, there was flaws in Broner, he got hit a lot. He got hit a lot because Gavin was taking a lot of chances, and he's got fast hands and good movement. You know, just because Gavin was hitting him a lot doesn't mean that other people were hitting him a lot, and just because Gavin went 5 rounds doesn't mean other people couldn't go 7 or 8 rounds. But every fighter brings a different, you know, problem. But like I said, the fans love Gavin. I knew he'd deliver that kind. I mean, he didn't want to quit. You know, he said afterwards, I wanted to carry on. I wanted, you know. But I think the timing was about right. He gave everything that he could. you'd seen by that point that he wasn't going to win the fight. And you know, at that stage, that's where someone like Gary Lockett is so important, because Gavin's got 2 or 3 years left on his career, and he's got so many more big fights to come. What you don't do is you don't let a fighter get damaged in a fight like that. You know, you realise you give it everything you've got, and at some point you realise this is over now, we're not going to win this fight. And that's the point where you've given him the best opportunity he can to win the fight, and then you take him out to what they say, fight another day. You know, and that's what he's, you know, you've been with him all day, he's absolutely fine. You know, facially not particularly damaged, feels good, obviously knows that he was beaten by a much better man, but you know, he's going to have a couple of weeks off and then get straight back to it.
I know there was a lot of well, it was just banter really in the end, I suppose, between Gavin and Adrian, but in your opinion now, I mean, what do you know about Adrien Broner that you maybe didn't know before he fought Gavin? You know, this guy is they're touting as, you know, the man. Adrian himself saying that he's the one to take over from Floyd, #1 in the era. That's what he's saying. What do you think? What's your personal opinion of him?
I think he's the real deal as a fighter. I really do. I mean, you know, it's one thing watching someone on TV, but when you're up close, you know, I was feet away from him at some time. I was so impressed with his ability, his movement, his power, his accuracy. And Gavin said today, you know, he can't believe how hard he punched Broner. But, you know, and again, I was sort of talking on Twitter, and everyone's slagging Adrien Broner, which is fine. He loves that. He wants to cause a reaction. And like I said last night on Sky, I'd rather people had an opinion on one of our fighters than no opinion at all, because it means they're talking about them. You know, what you don't want is someone to, you know, I should be able to say a fighter's name to you or a sports personality, and you give me your opinion on them straight away. It might be good, bad, fat, ugly, annoying, fucking top man, you know, but you've got to have an opinion. What you can't have is, he's alright, nice bloke, I suppose, you know. Broner, it's, oh, I can't stand him, or oh, I love him, he's great, he does this. But that's what he's trying to do. So after the fight, he come down to Gavin, they spoke in the change room, he said, wow, you're a tough mofo, as they say. And you know, there was a lot of respect between them, but I can see to the general audience they don't see that respect, and it does aggravate them. But that's just part of the plan. I mean, he walks in with 50 or 60, I mean, but it's, you don't know whether it's real or not, because when I was in the gym and the steam room and the spa a couple of days before the fight, he was sitting in the jacuzzi like this with about 30 people just standing around him, security and everything. We're just in a spa, and I just looked at him and he had his shades on, and he was like, I thought, are you still in character, or is actually you are this crazy man? But he's alright, you know, I quite like him. I thought he was a bit of a knob to start with, but he's actually alright, you know, and he's a brilliant fighter, he's so skilled, you know, and you have to, whether you respect him as a man or you respect him as a fighter, you have to respect him as a fighter, because he's phenomenal. He's the best lightweight in the world by a mile, you know. But after spending a sort of week with him, I kind of warmed to him, and he can be, like I said, a bit of a knob at times, but you know, as long as he's not wearing those rascal jumpers, everything will be alright.
What, obviously a name that's been mentioned a lot during the week as well, and especially after the fight with Gavin, Ricky Burns. Now, Ricky Burns is our WBO champion at the same weight. Can you see Ricky Burns doing any better than what Gavin did yesterday, or?
Well, I think if you have to compare Ricky Burns to Gavin Rees, you have to say Ricky Burns is the better fighter at the moment. He's current world champion. He's improved so much. You know, I never really used to rate Ricky Burns that much, but now I think he's a brilliant fighter. You know, he's done a great job on Kevin Mitchell, who is very skilled himself. He hasn't really operated at the top level. You know, he fought Katsidis, who was pretty much past it, then had another defence, can't remember the guy's name, and done well. He was quite a tough kid.
Paulus Moses?
Paulus Moses, yeah. And you know, he was awkward, but you know, these aren't the kind of levels anywhere near Broner. I think Ricky Burns is so smart tactically, he will give Broner a little bit of a different kind of fight than Gavin. Gavin brought. Will he beat Adrien Broner? I'd have to say no. I just think he's too good. I think he's too skilled. But that's not taking away for anything from Ricky Burns. I think Ricky Burns is fantastic, brilliant fighter. He's a world champion, and the fight with Vasquez is his first real test. But can that fight happen? Is there enough interest in that fight to financially make it happen? And I would have to say probably not, because it's quite easy to price yourself out of a fight. And again, it's not, you can't criticise Ricky Burns, because Ricky Burns is a fighter. He'll fight anyone. There's no way Ricky Burns would back down for a fight of Adrien Broner. The people around him might not want to fight Adrien Broner. But I just think there comes a time where, if you beat Vasquez, what is next? You have these meaningless defences. He's ready now, in my opinion, if he beats Vasquez, to go into these monster fights with the likes of Broner. But it's a really, really tough fight, and these people have got to be prepared to put it on the line, and fighting. But for me, I've got a different kind of mentality. I think that's what you're in the sport for. Even Gavin Rees, he's given it a go, and the great thing about Gavin Rees is he's been a world champion already. So he cannot sit there and say, I'll never be a world champion, because he already has been. So that fight was a no-brainer. You test yourself against the very best in the world. Gavin was, his performance last night, fringe world class, something like that, and Broner was just sheer class. That was the difference, and there's nothing he could have done to beat him last night. He was just too good. But you come, you find out, you make a lot of friends on the way, a lot of fans, a lot of supporters, important people. Sky loved it, HBO loved it, the fans loved it. So nothing ventured, nothing gained. Talk to the devil.
Eddie, just a quick word on Devon Alexander. Obviously, he was in Atlantic City.
Rascal shirt,
Burberry.
Shocking.
Awful shirt.
And a big diamond D as well.
Yeah. Eddie, he seems to have. Has he cleared up a lot of the questions that maybe Kel? I know you talked to the promoter and that Golden Boy, but have you learnt anything from Devon Alexander this week?
I spoke to Devon. I heard from the trainer, and it sounds very legit. It really does, and there's always question raised when injuries happen. But you're talking about a very tough physical sport where injuries can happen. You interviewed him. You spent more time with him than I did. I think you found him to be legit about the fight, and we're waiting on a new date, which we're supposedly get next week. So it's frustrating, but we do have to remember that Kel got injured as well the first time around. So we can't stamp our feet and make too much noise, because they had it happen to them as well. But sometimes you meet someone who's got a presence, and you think, But when I met Devon Alexander, I was just even more sure that Kell Brook would beat him. I don't know if that makes sense, but I fancy that fight so much. I think Kell will beat Devon Alexander. I really, really do. And either they're injured or they're looking at it and thinking, this is a 50-50 fight. Do we want to risk it for that kind of money, or do we want to sling him in a fight, 60-40 fight, but cash him in, for double the money, perhaps, or something like that? I'm just thinking with a promoter's hat on. But he's a nice bloke, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah, to be honest, it wasn't until yesterday, really, where I had a sit down with him for about 15 minutes and.
Well, you proper hounded him, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the whole time, and he was even saying to me, he kept asking me, who are you backing? And I said, well, obviously, Kel. He said, well, I gave you 2 interviews, so, but, let's.
No, but that fight you're talking about, a guy who's 25 and a guy who's 26, 2 of the best young welterweights in the world. It's such a brilliant fight, and it is a pure 50-50 fight. But I know Kel's going to do it. I know it. He's got too much heart, too much desire, and he won't take no for an answer. And DeMarcus Corley, who's a guy who's obviously past his best, but was out sparring with Kel in Fuerteventura. He just said he's the strongest welterweight I've ever seen. He said he would have no problems beating Devon Alexander at all. And these kind of guys are knowledgeable guys, So we just wait on that date, end of April, early May, and we're back out again. Try and keep cracking on and give the British fighters as many opportunities as possible.
Alright, Eddie, thank you very much for coming from London. I think our plane leaves in about, an hour?
Yeah,
Eddie, I just want to touch on something. What are you wearing? Talk me through it. Talk me through it.
Well,
Air Jordan.
Been in America.
Eddie, you're 33, you're old.
Coop, you got to understand, mate. I'm down with the kids. I'm down with the kids.
Hold on.
Jordans.
This is what makes me laugh. Can I just tell you what makes me laugh?
Go on.
Air Jordan, right? Air Jordan. Gucci.
No, but what it is Cal Yafai and Scotty Cardle, you know. I'm trying to keep up with these youngsters and they're all telling me that Air Jordan's the way forward. Alright, I'm 33, we'll keep that a little bit quiet, but you've got to be down with the kids, Coog, haven't you?
Yeah, you got to be down.
I'm not being funny. If you flip that camera around and show people what you were wearing, a rascal red beanie hat from Ralph Lauren that looks like it's come straight out of Saudi Arabia.
Alright.
I mean, it's like so you've been to Dubai and bought 4 Ralph Lauren hats for a £5.
Alright.
Some rascal clobber. That's a shocking jacket, that is. What is that jacket?
What are you on about?
Some leather monstrosity.
This is Coog and Cassius. Is that our plane behind us?
Maybe. Good advert for Delta.
Delta. Coog and Cassius with Eddie Hearn here for iFILM London.
Oh, thanks to Delta, because I blagged Gavin an upgrade actually.
That he didn't actually want?
Yeah. I went up to the desk, I said, listen, we're a bit embarrassing. Gavin Rees fought on HBO last night. He did lose, but I think you should give him a first class seat. Because you know, he really deserves it after a valiant effort. She said, can you bring him up here? So he rolls up, like, you know, lump thing. And she says, oh, you're after an upgrade? No, not really, I'm happy where I am. I said, Gav. He went, oh. She said, oh, I'm going to upgrade you, sir, to business class. Oh, thank you. And I said, yeah, mate, you know. He says, I wasn't bothered anyway. But he's a top man. I mean, you've spent a lot of time with him this week. He just, yeah, he's been out for 5 weeks in America away from his kids. You know, he's made a big sacrifice for this fight, and he's gutted right now. But I promise, when the dust settles, we'll have one more fight in the UK, and we'll be back straight fighting for a world title.
All right, Eddie Hearn, sign us out.
Eddie Hearn, JFK. Great trip, not the result we wanted, but great performance from Gavin Rees. Take your chances, increase your profile, don't sit still, dream big, plenty of ambition. Next Saturday, prize fighter Audley Harrison will return. I don't know what to expect apart from big viewing figures in a sold out arena. Martin Rogan, Travis Walker, Timo Hoffman, Albert Cisnowski, Ian Lewinson, and Tom Stalker making his debut. A couple of 100 Scousers coming down to cheer him on as well. Can't wait. Bulwark Hall to York Hall, all in a week's work.
Thank you very much.